Yeah, I'm Warren, Drunken Chief. I'm in my first year of Indigenous Bachelor of Social Work program. So far, SK courses right now, they had your basic Blackfoot. So that teaches you the language, the basics, and then it moves up further. Second level would be conversational Blackfoot. And then there's other stories, other ones I like. I think one of my favorites is it's kind of a toss up between the land and residential school, learning about what our Blackfoot is. So there's so much. When I come in here, my light bulb just comes on. I feel that it's all reality. These SK courses, they're all experience coming from our elders, and then they're also all policy. They're all government situation when you come talk about lands. So that's really beneficial. Those two classes I feel that are, for me, are the strongest courses I like. I enjoy that human interaction about what they shared. We have in-class visits. They hire people to come and share their experiences. So that's pretty huge. Speakers, and then of course we're going to write up on it. Yes, but to hear those experiences is, in human interaction. That's what we do for social work. So those classes are my favorite. It's a community thing. The community meaning you get to come to school first of all with your fellow friends, your relatives, and then some relatives you haven't met, like the younger ones. So I'm in class with students that are 30 years younger than I am, and that brings my community tighter. Meaning, and it also expands the knowledge of which families belong where. So that setting, when we have our instructors, which are right from down to earth from Siksika, that's another bonus. Plus all of us being Siksika, I feel that we're all learning this at the same time. But what we're doing though, I feel is not learning. I feel that we're experiencing something that was there and it's just awoken now through these courses. That's pretty huge. So it's nice to hear the stories of, my great-grandfather that's not here no more, that the stories laid rest and rusty and dusty. Now they're out flourishing in our classrooms. And that's what we need to do is our people need to be heard. And no better than giving it to the students. So one day we might become professors too, and we'll have something in our back pocket to instruct also. So that's what it's all about, I think, community. And Blackfoot, of course, that's the bonus, definitely. Yeah, so we have elders coming in, they're speaking. And when I say elders, they basically have knowledge. And some of them that are still here today want to tell their story about residential schools. Not just residential schools, there was also the Indian Agent, the Indian Act, the policy. And one of the biggest things too was, it's hard to hear one of our elders share that once we were known as the Lord of the Plains until they killed off our buffalo, until they poisoned the waters and so on. They taught us that, or they showed us that we were the Lord of the Plains, but we had to bow down because we were starving. So it hurt an elder that us being the strongest braves across the country and the world, we became on our knees hungry for food, and it was a sad time. So now we're trying to revive that, and the elder wants us to know that it wasn't all just being the best horseman, being the best warrior, the strongest, having the most land. It was about being prosperous, having big families, and so on. So that's what he meant was some of the families now are dwindled. Some of them don't exist no more just because of the starvation years. And then the residential schools, we lost so many to alcohol, drugs, poison, and so on. So those things coming from an elder's perspective, that's the true meaning and the true heart and the true knowledge that our Blackfoot I guess we're very fortunate to hear it now, because we weren't ready back in the day. We weren't ready to hear all those stories. We just were living. But now come SK courses, it's time to make that choice. And we have opportunity. Let's bring these elders in to share. And I hope they're treating them very well, because they deserve it. They deserve all the awards. They deserve the gifts for sharing their knowledge about our Blackfoot people. And that's what we're learning. And that teaches us to be a parent, teaches us to be a father, a good husband, uncle, and most of all, to be a good community Siksika member. That's what the elders are trying to teach us through these SK courses. And then imagine that, to write those down in research papers and, essays and so on. And, it's going to be hard written for many, many years, definitely. Yeah, one teaching that really stayed with me so far this first year, interest in myself, is to get up and be prepared, to have the materials I need, to make a schedule, and to be, I guess basically you call it, to be on a ball and be prepared. And that really elevated myself for my sleeping patterns, my thinking patterns, my eating patterns. All that has really progressed in my life as soon as I came back to these courses. But if you look at the SK course itself, definitely has to be the Blackfoot part that stands out. So there's not many of us that speak the language no more, but for someone to come out and care. So it's so true that our people are caring, are kind, and humble to even spend a minute to teach the language. Students that want to take the Siksika Knowledge courses, you're in for a good ride. The positive part about this is, if you don't know the language, no one's going to laugh at you. The instructors have a peace of mind to respect you. Whether you could speak the tongue or say the Blackfoot word wrong, they're there to correct you, and they're there to assist you along the way. And then also too, there's programs where, for instance, I talk about learning about the intergenerational traumas from residential schools. If a young student should come in, you're going to learn about your family. And that would be something to carry with you along with your education. And there's no better place to go to get your education than your backyard. So I don't have to travel too far to get this first year. Who knows, it might be 4 years for me just to stay here. If it is, I am going to stay here. So anybody coming here, take advantage. And then also too, we have the guidance and the path makers, the trailblazers. We have, if I may mention, like we got like Leroy, we have Lorley, we have Mona, we have Ikanaki. We have so many that are leading and have left a good trail for us. Herman, we have people that are going to give us an everlasting education for sure, and going to top off our careers positive, hopefully with that diploma or degree, whatever we're looking for. And it's no better place to graduate than inside your own community, to show that, to show others it's a possibility. Take advantage of it. That's what the elders would say, or the knowledge keepers. It's there, take advantage of it. So that's the teaching I would tell them.